I've been able to spend a week with the Ford F-150 diesel platinum model, and I've got 5 likes and 5 dislikes coming at you right now. Before I start this thing off, I want you to know I do have a full review of this vehicle, plus full reviews and 5 likes and dislikes videos on other vehicles, so please be sure to check those out. But without further ado, starting with my likes, in no particular order, like number 1 has got to be these front seats. These front seats are so comfortable without even the massaging function. There's a massaging function, but they're comfortable without that. The lumbar support can be adjusted a few different ways. The massaging seats are super nice. They're ventilated, they have memory settings, they're heated, so overall, all around, really nice seats. And another thing about that is you can get the ventilated seats all the way down on the lariat trim. Now my like number 2 is the fact that this thing is as capable as ever, and it's still the towing and the payload champ of the full-size trucks, with over 3,200 pounds of payload depending how it's configured, over 13,000 pounds of towing depending on the configurations, and that's just awesome. My like number 3 has got to be the variation of powertrain options. You can get just the basic naturally aspirated V6, this 3-liter diesel that I'm in right now, 3 different EcoBoost engines, the 2.7, the 3.5, and the 3.5 high output, which is just monstrous with 510 pound-feet of torque on the limited trim. That's a beast coming out of the Raptor. So the powertrain options, 10-speed automatic, which is really smooth, great powertrain. My like number 4 is that you can option and customize this truck pretty much however you want. You can get a bunch of different options all the way down on lower trims, especially the lariat trim, which is probably what I would go for, because you can put just about everything that you want on it without having to step up and get everything that comes in a platinum or a limited trim. My like number 5 is that it just does everything really well. It's really spacious, it's really comfortable, it's quiet, it's very capable, towing, payload, all of that. It's got pretty much everything that you want in here: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all your features that you can see on your displays, tons of space. It just does everything really well, and it makes sense that it's the best-selling vehicle in America. Now it's time for my dislikes in no particular order. My dislike number 1 is a combination of just small things. They weren't big enough to actually make the list, but one is the windshield wipers. They're rain sensing, which is really cool, but they would either go really fast or really slow, and I found myself wanting to touch them and change them. And when they were going fast, they were actually almost going off the windshield. They're hitting the pillar up here, so you could hear a tick, 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 tick every time they went over and hit that, which was really annoying. Another thing is the transmission lights aren't lighting up next to the gear selector. The seat belt, when you let it go, it doesn't spring back. It's almost like it's a 10-year-old vehicle to where it just kind of hangs there with a bunch of slack in it. So just a few different funky things, including my seat actually. My lumbar support button wasn't working for some reason for several minutes, and then all of a sudden it started working again. I don't know. My dislike number 2 is that I like the steering feel most of the time, but when you have you're doing some maneuvering in some low speed situations or parking lots or trailering, it's pretty heavy for that kind of situation, and it could be a lot better and a lot easier if there was some lighter steering at lower speeds. My dislike number 3 is pretty small, and I would only mention this because I just got out of the GM trucks that have a pretty advanced surround view camera with a whole bunch of different views, but it's the 360 camera that's offered in here. It's not all that advanced. There's still quite a bit that you can see, but it's not the best clarity, and there's not even all that many options to change what camera angle you see. My dislike number 4 kind of continues on with that. It's that we have rear park assist, which is really nice, but we don't have any front park assist. And in a $67,000 truck like this, especially when you have a 360 camera, why not just throw that in? I kind of expected it. My dislike number 5 isn't really a dislike, but when I get home or when I get somewhere, I don't really want to get out of this thing, especially when it's been cold and crappy weather here. The heated massaging seats are just fantastic, and they're good enough to make my wife fall asleep. So it's good enough for me, it's good enough for her. That's what I don't like, is having to get out of it. So those were my 5 likes and 5 dislikes after spending a week with the Ford F-150. If you want to see the full review, please check down below. Let me know what your favorite or least favorite thing is. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have a great day.